What's up, y'all? What's going on? I put my glasses on. What's going on? 12 o'clock, 11:34 NYC time. I saw that Civil War. I saw it again, actually. Red light camera reported ahead. Very intense movie, but shout out to my man Jason Whitlock. He touched on it, and not even, I don't know what my head was at. I must have looked at it in a different perspective, or just looking at it for what it could be as just a movie. But I kind of agree with him and everything. Go watch Civil War. It's funny that this movie will come out during probably the most important election in our lifetime. Donald J. Trump versus Joe Biden. Joseph Biden. Our president at hand. I'm not going to go into details of the movie, but I encourage each and every one of you to see the movie right now. Serious, I saw it twice. I'm probably going to see it a third time. But it's funny that a movie like this will come out during this time. And I'm going to tell y'all what I believe, right? With all the trials that Donald Trump is going through, I believe that this is election interference as well. But I'm going to tell you something else, right? All right? Because this is not my political channel. I'm going to be starting my political channel soon. You know? But I will say this. There's a lot of people, Trump has a lot of supporters. He has supporters that's black, white, Asian, Latino, Hispanic, Indian. He have Christian. I don't know if he have too many Muslim supporters, but he has a lot of supporters that's businessmen, women. He has supporters that's extreme. He has supporters that's racist. He has all type of supporters. And I firmly believe it's raining out here. We got people out here with no umbrellas and stuff on. It's all good. Not even hats on. I'm just amazed. I guess everybody's just taking the rain now. Anyway, I believe if Donald Trump, if he goes to jail, right, and they try to convict him, and he doesn't get to fight at the ballot box, in that aspect, knowing that he is the Republican GOP, and he doesn't get to square off against Joe Biden, I'm still waiting for the debates. I believe there could be possibly a civil war, because Donald Trump has people. I mean, he really has people. As you can see, January 6th, he really has supporters in that aspect that will go to jail, that will die for him, that will fight for him, and that's power. Now, you may love him, you may hate him, you may dislike him, you may like him, but that's in power. And I'll just say this, right? But if Donald Trump don't get elected as president, let's look at what's going to happen on the flip side. We can get this facade that there's going to be peace, but you're dealing with, our president who looked like he got some challenges going on, some serious mental challenges going on, in a sense of like, he's a little older, whatever. As you get older, sometimes certain things, they say your health deteriorates. Depending on how you keep yourself, whatever. But, as you get older, things starts to age. Your heart's not the same. Your liver, your organs, everything not the same. Your skin start to sag. It happens with age to all of us. No matter how health conscious you may be, no matter what type, no matter if you're vegan or not, we all gonna get age, and we all gonna transition. Most people transition due to health-related issues, so it's always good, obviously, to be healthy, of course. So when you do transition, you won't suffer, or, and Lord forbid anything else might happen to you, but let's just say nothing happened to you. No, you don't die as a innocent bystander or accidental death, and you just died naturally. At least you won't suffer, right? That's great. But at the end of the day, we're going to all transition. You know, your heart is going to beat to a certain amount, then it's just stop beating. It's inevitable. It's life, circle of life. So, but we see our president going through challenges, right? And, you know, I always, whether you like him or you hate him, whatever, I always say whoever's in a position of power in that aspect, we should always pray for them. We should pray for them to succeed because their decisions affects you and I, right? So, I believe if President Biden was to get reelected, in that regard, we're facing World War III. The borders, oh my gosh. Now, we see the borders going on. You know, a lot of times they highlighting the Hispanic or my Latino brothers that's coming over here, right? They're not talking about our African brothers, that's migrants. We're not talking about the Asian brothers and sisters, that's migrants as well. The country is being bombarded. So we're dealing with a border issue, right? That we has to get under control, and Lord knows, oh my gosh. And forget about it, inflation. I remember when Heroes used to be around Hero sandwiches. You know, some of you like pork, some of you like turkey. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you get a turkey Hero. Lettuce, tomatoes, mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, vinegar, oil, pepper. I remember them Heroes, big Heroes, used to cost like $5. Now the Heroes is close to $10. You know, dozen of eggs close to $10 to $12. The inflation skyrockets. Oh, forget about it. My car is a gasoline car. The whole thing, if Joe Biden get reelected, everything is transitioning into electric cars. You know how much the batteries are. The cars look. I'm not a big fan of Tesla. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to Elon Musk and what he's doing. You know, much respect. I don't like how the car looks, but I'm pretty sure they'll make a car that looks in the, you know, design how it is to your liking. They have them because even Honda now has them. The new Honda Accords, they are gasoline and electric. You get double portion or best of both worlds. But my point of mentioning electric cars is that it will be mandated that most of these places now, the car dealership, these, you know, the Toyota, Honda, whatever, they got to transition to electric because, you know, Joe Biden, you know, he preaches fossil fuel and everything like that. And I'm all with conserving. I'm all with global warming and all that stuff. I don't ignore none of that stuff, you know. If there can be a day, and one of the things, COVID cleansed a lot of things. If there could be a day where the whole, well, say for example, New York City, if there could be a day where nobody drives, they have a day, no cars, no buses, no trains, nothing. You know how much that will preserve the air in itself? Oh my gosh. So I'm with all that, you know. But them going back to the electric, you know how much them batteries cost? Now, 2 years ago, I know them batteries was like $3,000 to $5,000 to get the batteries for these cars. Most of us, when we get cars, you know, we can't even afford to let the dealer fix them. We go to these outsourced mechanics and everything like that. Or we see people at AutoZone or Arch, you know, or you see the mechanics on the street, we try to get them to fix them because we really can't afford to maintain them in that regard, even though no matter what it is, even if you get a Benz. You know, I always say, man, if you can't have the dealer fix it, you can't really afford it because that's a part of maintenance. So therefore, we can't really afford it. So we go to people that not necessarily to be cheaper, is that we can't afford to take it to the dealer. The reality, I deal with it too. And I'm not trying to be cheaper, is that, man, if I could think logically, if I can get a car, right? And I gotta pay $1,000 or $600 to put brakes in, and I could just go buy the brakes myself, and I pay somebody put the $50 to put the brakes in. Of course, I'm gonna go to, you know, I'll buy the brakes myself and pay $50. But this is speak hypothetically. What if I ain't want to do all that? Like if I had to go to dealer, oh man, I'll be in trouble. Imagine how it's gonna be if everybody got to transition to electric cars, and you could barely afford to see the dealer with your gas car. Imagine how it's going to be with the electric car. And this is what's going to happen if Joe Biden becomes the president. You know, the possibility again of World War III. You see Iran is hooking up. Iran is supporting, no, not Iran. Iran and China is supporting Russia with the whole Ukraine war. What does that lead to? World War III. Because we already as a country are antagonizing Russia enough as it is by sending aid to Ukraine and everything. It has nothing to do with us. Nothing. So our president sending money over to Ukraine alone. One of the sums of $80 billion. You know that $80 billion he sent over could have ended homelessness in America. It could have took our veterans and everything off the street. I don't care if they on drugs. I don't care if they have mental illness. You telling me that these people that fought, that risked their lives and fought and died or gave service to this country don't deserve the help? You know how the people say people go to jail, and they have a chance to get a real rehabilitation? People need a second chance. Imagine. We could have ended homelessness. You ever seen homelessness in New York? You ever seen it in New Orleans? They staying under them bridges by the stadium? Imagine that money could have been spent with them actually bringing out a cure for cancer, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's. But we send it over to Ukraine. And I'm not here to criticize that, but I'm just saying, imagine if that money could have been in-sourced here. But this is what you have. People slander Donald Trump and they say he's a racist. Do you really know Joe Biden's background history as a senator and all the racist thing he's said about black people back then? Now, I'm not saying if a person is how he was back then, they can't change now. I'm not saying that. And I'm not trying to slander the president, but if you want to sit up there and call Donald Trump a racist because of the things back in the 80s with the housing, he wasn't even into politics, and I'm not justifying it, but hey, you got to call both cards. People got mad at how Trump dealt with COVID. The world shut down because of COVID. We blame him like he created the disease that killed over 1 million Americans. Oh, he shouldn't have handled it like this. He shouldn't have handled it like that. He's the one that presented Dr. Fauci. When Biden had him up there, everybody loved him. He's the one that actually presented the vaccine. When he's out of the picture, everybody was promoting the vaccine and the majority of y'all took it. But you have, I'm just telling you, brothers and sisters, watch the movie Civil War. And once again, look at the outcome, what's going to affect. Now, I'm talking to black people now. What is going to be the outcome for me and you? Forget this black people, excuse me. I'm talking to my American brothers and sisters in America. What is going to be the outcome for me and you if Joe Biden was to get elected as president based on what's going on right now? Open borders, inflation, possibly World War III. Yeah, you won't get quote unquote rhetoric. You won't get that. They talk about his son, whatever's going on with his son, that's with his son. You won't get that. And then number 4, you got a president that's declining in health. How's it going to affect your children? Forget this, you and I. How's it going to affect our children if Joe Biden was to get reelected as president? How's it going to affect? And if Joe Biden had to sit down, do you really want Kamala Harris as your president? Kamala Harris, remember, at the end of the day, I know she's a prosecutor. Her job is to lock up. You know how many people she done got locked up for smoking weed? And now she's trying to change it, hooking up with the rappers and everything. Do you really want her as the president? Weigh your options. So, once again, I encourage each and every one of you, weigh your options, and also watch that Civil War and tell me what your thoughts is in the comment section. And for those of you who haven't already, make sure you click and subscribe. Prime. More content coming soon, y'all. Peace and blessings. Peace!